I feel nervous because I'm very hungry and I put my piece of cake over there. I can't find it. Who ate it? Of course, it's eaten by someone. Oh my God. Okay, after my presentation, I will look for it. Sorry, my name is Safa Al Arabi. I have pleasure to be here in Syrian educational platform, but you have to be patient with me. Okay, let's start. Who ate my cake? So you have to help me to find the answer at the end of the lesson. Now, let's start with passive voice. We are going to discuss the form of passive voice. Of course, we know that there are two forms of sentences, active and passive. So here we are going to talk about past simple passive. Look at this vase. It's broken. Who broke it? So the vase was broken by the cat. So who broke it? The cat broke the vase. I think the cat is very naughty. So another tense for passive, present continuous passive. The house is being cleaned. Of course, in these days, we have to keep our houses clean. So here, who is cleaning the house? As we can see here, Sally and her dad are cleaning the house. So the house is being cleaned by Sally and her dad. They are very active. For past continuous passive, the walls were being painted. Yesterday, it could be the walls were being painted. But who was painting the walls? Look here. We can see here in this picture very active worker or decorators. So decorators were painting the walls. We can see here that we use verb to be, which related to the continuous form in the past tense. Then it affects the verb to be for, passive form, and the main verb should be in the past participle. What about present perfect passive? The fish has been caught. Look at these fishermen. He is excellent fisherman. I think he caught a very big fish. So the fish has been caught by the fisherman. So who has caught the fish? The fisherman has caught the fish. So the word here, I think, is important. No, but I think it's more important that I mention that the fish has been caught. And for past perfect continuous, the street had been paved. So who had paved the street? The workers, hard workers, had paved the street. And the dishes will be washed by the robot. I think in the early future there will be a robot which can help us in doing our household job. So who will wash the dishes? The robot will wash the dishes. And this tense is related to future, of course. Now, I'm going to explain more why do we use passive instead of active sometimes. So when we don't know the subject or the doer is sometimes not important, or I don't know him or her or even it. So I have to use the passive form. Next, the subject is not important, or even the doer is not important, or we don't know, or we don't mention, or want to mention it. And also we want to talk, when we want to talk about the object, is the most important thing that we have to emphasize on the object, and not the doer, which is the subject of the sentence, or the subject of the action. Now here, our goal, the form of the passive voice. We have, as I said, there are two forms of sentences, active and passive. So, in active form, there should be the doer, then main verb, then the object. I have to draw your attention for a very important idea, that the sentence in active form should have object, at least one object. It means the verb should be transitive. Then, how could make this sentence passive? We have to form a new subject from the object. Here, the object, a cake. Here, we have to write it at the beginning of the sentence. It's a subject. A cake is made by whom? Maybe it's by me, but it's not important to mention here the doer. If we follow the step above, the most important thing, as we said, we have to put the object as a new subject or as the subject of the passive form. The most important thing that we should have verb to be, that it takes the tense or all tenses or of all forms of the passive. Then it should be followed by past participle. So the main verb should be past participle, or as we said usually, V3. Now, for tenses. First, present simple. In active form, I make a cake. In the passive form, we have to follow the steps above. The object is a cake. The verb to be is very important. And I have to take the tense from the main sentence in the active. Here, make is present simple. So it should be is, because cake is a singular. So a cake is, the past participle of the verb made is made. For present continuous, I'm making a cake. By the way, I like the cake very much, so I'm very sad that I lost my cake. So I'm making a cake. Here, we should follow also the steps above. The object, a cake. But here we have to pay attention that the tense of this sentence is present continuous. It means in present continuous, we have to use either is or or are. Then the main verb should be with ing or present participle. So, a cake is. As we said, the verb to be here is very important because it takes the tense of the passive form. Here is the verb related to the passive form should be in continuous form. So, is being. The main verb make. Here it should be in the past participle or V3 made. So a cake is being made. What about past simple? I think it's a piece of cake. It's very easy. I made a cake. A cake, let's follow the previous steps. A cake was, but here, why good or right was? Because the main verb here is in the past simple. So the past symbol of verb to be here should be was. Not were, of course, because it's not cakes, it's just one cake. So a cake was made. For past continuous, it's just similar to present continuous, but different tense. I was making a cake. Yesterday, I have a very good time, and I was making a cake. So a cake was, it's related to the past continuous was, verb to be should be in the continuous form. A cake was being made. What about present perfect? It's very easy. So I have made a cake. And I have made a cake and someone has eaten. I'm sorry. So I have made a cake. So a cake, here there is a change in the shape of the verb, but it's still present perfect. I use have with I, but here we should use has because a cake, the pronoun replaced with a cake is it. So it has been made, or a cake has been made. What about past perfect? I had made a cake. So a cake, also here, past perfect, we have to put had. Then the main verb, or verb to be, of course, should be in the past participle, been. Then the passive form, or the past participle form of the verb made should be made. So a cake had been made. Now, what about the future symbol? Of course, when I go back, I will make another cake. So, future symbol, I will make a cake. A cake will be made. A cake will be made, of course, by me because I want to eat chocolate cake. Now, future will be going to. I am going to. Of course, after to, there should be infinitive form to make a cake. Now, a cake is going to be made. Past participle, made. So a cake is going to be made after I arrive home. Now, what about modals? I must make a cake. Of course, I must make a cake because I feel very hungry, so I must make a cake. A cake must be made immediately after I arrive home. So, modal perfect, it means that I have to use one of the modals with perfect form. As we know that after modal, the verb should be always in zero form. So, I should have made a cake. A cake should have been made. Now we have to notice now to form a passive voice sentence, the verb should be transitive. And the sentence, so the verb should be transitive in order to make this sentence passive. That means that the verb needs at least one object. For example, he usually wakes up early. Can you tell me or analyze this sentence? Here we have, or there is a subject and frequency adverbs, then a verb, then early, I think it's related to time, but there is no object. In this sentence, we can't, or this sentence can't be changed into passive because verb isn't transitive. The verb wake here, in this case, it's not transitive because there is no object. Now, we can add the subject after by in case of passive form. Why? To emphasize the doer. Because, as I said before, there are many use of the passive form, one of these use is to emphasize on the doer. Now, the cake was eaten by the cameraman. Oh, is it right? Okay, I think I found who ate my cake. Okay, I will be patient till the end. Here, there is a task to do from my lovely students. You have to change the following sentences into passive. My father bought a present for me. I have a lovely father, so he bought a present for me. In your opinion, do you think that this sentence is passive or active? Yes, you have to tell me now. The storyteller tells long tales to audience. Also here, you have to find out whether this sentence is active or passive. The playwright has written many interesting plays. Now, let's go back to the first one. My father bought a present for me. Of course, this sentence is in active form. How do I know that this sentence is active? My father is the doer. Bought is the verb in the past tense. A present is an object. So, here we have to make this sentence passive. First of all, we have to put the object at the beginning of the sentence. Then, we have to add verb to be, and the tense should be the same tense in the active form. Then, we have to the main verb should be in the past participle. I'm still waiting for your answer. So, the second one, the storyteller tells long tales to audience. Also, in my opinion, this sentence is an active one because I know the doer and the completion of the sentence is as the sequence of simple sentence in active form. The last one, the playwright has written many interesting plays. Of course, playwright is a person who writes for theater. So, the playwright has written many interesting plays. The playwright is the doer, has written is the verb in the passive form, many interesting plays. We call all of these the completion or the object of this sentence. Now, the answers. My father bought a present for me. We should follow the main rule of the passive that we have to use the object as a new subject in the passive form. A present, the verb to be should be in the past tense because the main verb here in the active is in the past form. A present was bought by whom? Of course, by my lovely father. The storyteller tells long tales to audience. Here, the object is long tales. Tales means stories. So, long tales and verb to be of the object should be present simple because tales here is present simple. So, long tales are told. The main verb tells should be in the past form it should be in the past participle or V3, told by the storyteller to the audience. Now, the last one. The playwright has written many interesting plays. Here, many interesting plays. Has, but I think here there is a mistake. It should be have. Sorry for this mistake. So many interesting plays have been written by the playwright. Why I should use here have instead of has? Because many interesting plays, if you replace it with a pronoun, it should be they. And with they, there should be have, not has. So, many interesting plays has been written, many interesting plays have been written by the playwright. I think that's all for the passive. And do you find out who ate my piece of cake? I know. I think the cameraman was very hungry. So my piece of cake was eaten by the cameraman. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. See you